to see these galleys either come up here alongside the units or turn into caravels and come over. Because having these land units push along and then just have the caravels heavy hitting the cities and taking them, it'll speed this along so much. Look at that, almost full coastal Gorgo. Jeez. Poor Buenos Aires no longer exists. Von Holio's feeling a bit choked up as well, only just now getting to his 4th city. Not doing too good a job containing Brazil. Brazil has so many rainforests that, honestly, he could just sit back and sim. However, this line's being broken up by Agathy now. I'd definitely like to see more units come out. For Code, no, he's gonna need them for sure, because Agathy's gonna run him down. However, No Sleep here is Kodenaw's ally. Could definitely see Sun Tzu picked up as well. Shifted over. We could see some knights come out of No Sleep, and that would do a lot of damage. Next scientist is going to be Yul Cid. Aryabhata picked up by Guy's Gorgo. And Yul Cid will be picked up this turn more than likely unless Japan passed. That being the case, though, everyone's passing on poor old Coleus, but Mysterious X will happily take that 50 faith. And it looks like the horses are going to be moving out now. But if No Sleep has knights soon, it's going to be rough. Take a look at the science here. No Sleep is generating almost 43 science a turn. Holy cow. However, oh wow, No Sleep is leading in science per turn. If No Sleep has knights ready, he has tons of chariots. So if these turn into knights, they're in for a world of hurt up there. Take a look at the demographics to show the differences here. No Sleep generating 43 science a turn. Simon at 22. Guys, Gorgo at 24 and 23 from Kodenaw. Meanwhile, for TDF's team, Von Holio generating 23 a turn, 17 for Agathy, 34 for Mysterious X, and Propagandi at 16.6. So Simon even generating more science than Propagandi, even though Propagandi got the extra cities down, has both Great Barrier Reef and Galapagos. And these swords are getting cleaned up, down to 5 of them. There were originally 8. However, more settlers coming down, so he's going to nab all these good settles. But, unbeknownst to him, the guy's coming over to knock on the door and say, you're not alone in this game. Quadreme's coming out. It looks like Guy might even make some frigates here. Does not have the 2... Oh, hold on. No, he only has 1 harbor right now. So he does not have cartography boosted. If this sword moves any closer, it will be spotted by the city. That being the case, though, this sword will be spotted. And Propagandi moving his troops back, realizing, oh, and crossbow promotion by Simon. Absolutely, dude. Has his ally here to help him. The team helped him with some gold, and he got the crossbow tech. He's not only surviving, he's going to push Propagandi back. Swords and archers coming out for Propagandi, but that is not going to cut it anymore. And that general is going to be assisting that crossbowman, and it's going to do some terrible damage. And it looks like they're gearing up to give Kumasi to Kodna. Look at this beautiful Sim City here. Now, we highlighted on this a little bit earlier. And early on in the game, we even said why it would be so good. But let's just show it a little bit here. This is a +6 campus. Warranted, it also has a library. This is a 10. A 7 commercial hub. This is a 5. It has people working there too. He has citizens allocated, so that's 9. This campus is still incomplete, so that would raise that even farther. No Sleep really showing the power of a good SimCity from a Japan. However, we do have only a few swords remaining here for Kodna as Agathy begins to encircle with horses. But at this point, he's really just buying time for Japan, who has done an excellent job SimCitying. Taking a quick look. Oh, we do have the Great Library picked up by Mysterious X, so we will have some extra places for some great works for his writers. Taking a quick look at the religious lens, we're going to look at gold per turn generated by the players here shortly. 10th city set down right here in Nizhny Novgorod. I think I pronounced that right. Been a while since I've been stationed near Russians. What's with the meme pin? Oh, Mysterious X pinned it to where only I could see it because he thinks it's hilarious. That's his pin, not mine. Oracle picked up by Mysterious X as well. This is some kind of wonder. It's not telling me what it is. Just whoa. He just chopped the Hanging Gardens in one turn. Holy crap. Oh man, these horses are for a world of hurt. These are archers with multiple promotions. The backed with chariots, soon to become knights. Heck, this triple promoted archers even crossed the river to lend some aid. Unfortunately, the tech tree isn't displaying the player pins, so we can't really see where they are, but looking at the culture, we can see that Agathy and Guy have pulled ahead on the Cold Civics tree. Mysterious X not far behind, and everyone else is lagging behind there other than those three. That being the case, though, this crossbow, along with Guy's reinforcements, are pushing back. Horses and swords coming out for propaganda, but they are not going to be enough. Galleys and quadrimes swimming up the coast here as well. Swimming, sailing. Same difference. Kumasi has a little builder out here in the water just out of visibility. You should probably send a galley to go get that. You know, this was really looking bad for Team 2, but I gotta say they've done an excellent job working together, strategizing, playing as a team to take what was at first a pretty unlucky situation. The map is randomly generated, and they've really turned it into something. And they're really showcasing that teamwork, that working together. Now, that's not a knock against TDF's team on Team 1. They're doing an excellent job too. They've been buying a lot of time for Agathy and Mysterious X to really sim up, especially Mysterious X. But because he's been Infinite City sprawling, he hasn't been building tall, so that investment hasn't come yet. But he should definitely stop building cities at this point and focus on building tall and getting the Cossacks as quick as he can. Because if No Sleep turns these into knights, it's going to do irreparable damage to Agathy. And maybe even Mysterious X himself. Being said, Mysterious X's science is 39.7, but No Sleep is sitting on 44. Now, Propaganda does have very defensible terrain here. Cincinnati and Chicago are more at risk than, say, Baltimore and San Francisco. But he's got to choke up those tiles with units first, and he doesn't have the units there to do so. Now, he does at Baltimore, and he can hold at Cincinnati for a while. But if any more of these become crossbows, it's going to become an issue. So Cossacks come in the industrial era, we'll have to wait a while to see some yes. Cossacks come all the way at military science. Now I'm in France, so you can see the Garde Impériale there, not the Cossack. But it comes all the way here, but it's an easy tech to reach. As you can see, it's pretty much a straight beeline. You come down for machinery, crossbows, and castles, and you go straight on in. Now to further break this down, it is an industrial era unit for anyone who's wondered if it's industrial renaissance. Because this is a renaissance. This is the end of the Renaissance era. Square rigging, astronomy, metal casting, and siege tactics. Industrialization, scientific theory, ballistics, and military science mark the start of the industrial era. Yeah, shocker, industrialization starts the industrial era. I know, it's terrifying news, I'm sure. Extra riders being picked up by both our Greece players. No knights yet, probably choosing to wait for mercenaries to have the cost. Hopefully, Codenall will be able to hold out against Agathy. Agathy doesn't have too much here, so he should be fine. My whole life is a lie now. Absolutely, man. With this knowledge, you are now armed to take on the world. Now that you know that you have been betrayed and industrialization has everything to do with industrialization. The Mahabodhi Temple. So all the religious wonders are going to get picked up by Mysterious X as well. And that's going to really help his spreads out. Some of them award extra apostles. It's really going to help him out. No one else is getting a religion. No one's really focused on it. Look at that. 2 apostles for completing the Mahabodhi Temple. And he can use these to evangelize beliefs. Why doesn't Japan have ninjas as a unique unit? Because they have samurai instead. There's the first evangelize going out. We are going to be taking a look to see what he chooses to take. He does have cream of the crop pick, so to speak. Because he's the only player with a religion, it's not contested. Why not both? Well, you'd have to write for Axis on that one. However, I'm sure there's a mod in the workshop somewhere that would give them ninjas. It'd be like a unique recon unit or something. Swords reforming the line here, getting good support bonuses. San Francisco taking hits from the galley, the quadrime, and a sword, and more units are coming, along with a ram. Walls will not save Propaganda. He needs more units on the board. And he has those coming. But will he get to San Francisco in time? That's going to be the real question here. City-state flipping going on here. Mysterious X taking Antioch away from No Sleep. Hong Kong being picked up by Simon, so he will be enjoying some extra production towards city projects if he needs it. Guy taking Hattusa away, sinking 15 envoys. Oh my goodness. Agathy taking Kumasi, but Kumasi will fall soon. They did manage to get some troll walls up. But they are only ancient walls, so that will not hold forever. That will fall next turn. Taking a quick look over here at Carthage. No one really caring about Carthage. Poor Carthage. Laventa still controlled by Mysterious X because no one's caring about the religious city-states. Well, each civ has multiple things it can draw from history to have as its bonuses, unique units, things that their culture really started or developed. And there's a really rich history to draw from there. And it's, it's hard to really pick who gets what, but you don't want to overload some civs and make it to where the game is completely and utterly broken. Like, people already have some balance issues with some of the civs. Could you imagine if you gave all the civs multiple unique units and all of their unique improvements that they're known for throughout history? Some of them would be absolutely ludicrous. So if you got, changing stuff's all fun and all, and it's fine. But you have to think, if you're going to take something away or you're going to change something or add something, what are you doing to compensate for it? If you're going to give a civ something very strong, what weakness are you giving them to compensate? And these quadremes are range 1 units. They're not particularly potent. The galleys will be able to siege the city with the support of extra units. But Guy hasn't sent more reinforcements other than these few units here. Now if he can make this a crossbow as well, they'll just gun down the sword. And that'll be the end of that. That'll all she wrote. We do have a 7-city Japan over here. And tons and tons and tons of chariots coming out. Take a look. There's Kumasi defeated as we foresaw. And they did give that to Kodna, as again, expected. Has a horse on the hill here to watch Von Holio. Make sure he doesn't do anything too cheesy here. Lots of spearmen coming out from him as well. So he has a very balanced force to fight with. Looks like he's going for city number 5 there in the background. Agathy sitting back on his 6 cities, just kind of trying to keep Kodna in check, but there's plenty of space here that his allies are going to give to him. Mysterious X sitting back, being the SimCity player for his team here. Generating 40 gold a turn here. Taking a look at the rest of his team. Von Holio pushing out 12 a turn. Do you think Firaxis will keep making new leaders and not civs? You know what? I'd like to see multiple leaders for each civ. They wouldn't have to worry about balancing an entire civ around the game as much. It'd be easier on their development team. It would be a smaller financial investment for Firaxis, which would make it more appealing. Because like, business is money. That's what it really boils down to. But if they did choose to do it that way, we'd have to see a lot of extra leaders before people would be willing to buy a DLC. Emergency comes out. Target is Brazil again for taking Kumasi. We're going to reject it because we don't care about Kumasi. But when you... they'd have to put multiple leaders in the pack before making it a DLC. And we know they would, just like they do with new civs. I'd like to see more leaders for each of the civs, to be honest. I think it would bring more diversity to the table. We've already seen people appreciate it with the Greases. Even the new India they introduced has been pretty well admired by both the single and multiplayer communities. Mostly single player for his bonus, because if you're going to denounce someone, they're just going to declare war on you. But, it's good to see them appealing to both play styles, the multi and the single players. And again, it comes back to bringing that diversity and that richness to the game. And you could tap into even more of a Civ's rich history by bringing out these other leaders from these Civs. It also helps balance it for two teams of the two Greases. Absolutely, Pizza. Being able to have both teams have an Acropolis spammer for envoys, it does balance it out for multiplayer. And it's things like that that are greatly appreciated by the community, and I think it would be an excellent step for Firaxis to continue to work on new leaders. And I mean, if they need a big incentive, a big carrot to put on the stick for them for it, it's a smaller financial cost in order to develop a leader versus an entire civ. Look at all these ships here. Too bad these aren't frigates, because that would, well, if they were frigates, this would be done. But I would like to see these ships withdraw and get upgraded. At least the galleys into quads, or galleys into quads, wow. Galleys into caravels. English is hard today. Now, Propagandi hasn't had any time to sim up. He's kind of stuck sitting on what he's got, and because Guy is here pressuring him too, and Simon has crossbows now to pretty much swat him away, he has to militarize again. He can't. He made space for himself and he got more cities out. Awesome job. You took something, you did something great with it, you're sitting on 7 cities. But if you don't start simming and getting your techs up, and your civics unlocked, you're going to fall behind, and then they're going to take you anyway. So he's definitely got a plan ahead here, and really think about what he wants to do. The era's ending in 2 turns, so we're going to see who gets what era. No one swung into a dark era, so we're not going to see a huge reverse into a heroic age. Temple of Artemis picked up by Mysterious X as well, and oh my god, so many camps. Within 4 tiles, pastures, camps, and I believe plantation. Oh my god, this plantation. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it won't reach that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so that's a +5 amenity Artemis. Mysterious just wonder scooping. Trying to milk some free bonuses there. Can we see who got golden eras? Absolutely. Golden era was picked up by Agathi's Pericles, Mysterious X's Russia, and Propagandi's America. The remaining 5 players all went to a normal age. It was pretty expected to see both Agathi and Mysterious X get into a golden age. The lava was built, a religion was established super early. So that gave a lot of era score right there, because the lava is a unique district. Making the unique district or unit gives you a lot of era score. Same thing with Agathi, because he made that early hoplite. And here come the knights. Only 3 upgraded for now. And it forced Mysterious X to withdraw immediately. So they were getting ready to push. He upgraded 3 to knights, moved them out, showed him to flex his muscles, and they ran away. Then they can't fight it. Will the Mexico Civ be good? You know, it's hard to say if a Civ will be good without seeing how the developers choose to handle the Civ. For example, you know, if the bonuses aren't that great, well then it won't be a very great Civ. Now, does Mexico have the potential to be a good Civ? Absolutely. There is a lot of history there to draw from. You could do all sorts of stuff with districts or units. You could even tap more into more modern eras to draw from. Aztec is a thing, so it's kind of awkward. Well, in the past you've had Aztec, Maya, trying to think of the older Civ games. It's been a while. But you could tap into so much. There's a lot there. and Central America to draw from. Like, I'd like to see a wonder to be built, the Panama Canal, to where you can build it out by one tile. For example, right here, this two tile pass. If I have a city right here on this flat two food tile, I could build the Panama Canal on this tile here, this coastal tile, and it would allow me to move ships from the city through the canal. I'd like to see that, and limit it to the two tiles, you know? That would be something to draw from, or you could make that a unique district for Mexico. We'll call it Central America, if you will, however you want to label that civ. Because there's a lot of countries packed into that area, and there's so much culture there, and there's a lot of diversity. And that's what I like. That's what I really love about Civ, is you can tap into the history of all of these different Civs, and you can learn so much about them. Now, Guy's troops are pushed back here. Bit of an overlap. Imagine if Greece, Byzantium, and the Ottomans were in the same game. Well, in earlier Civ games, they are. Hombre. For example, in Civ 3, you have Greece, the Ottomans, Byzantium. You have the game needs canal, tunnel, bridges. Bridges are built by traders that go over rivers, so that already exists. Bridges to span lakes, tiles, or seas. I could see maybe if you did like the military engineer and you could cross a two-tile lake, I'd be okay with that, but anything more than that I think would be too much. And maybe one tile a mountain you could tunnel through, again, make it military engineer. So you could say you require a Niter to do it. Ooh, Knights forming a line here. There you go. Crossbow comes out for Augathy here, so these are going to be raining down some death. You're going to have to be careful, though. No Sleep still has a ton of chariots back here that he could use. Jebel Burkal under construction. No, not many people make the Jebel. And the reason you usually do it is for the iron. You make it if you don't have iron. But because Mysterious X has also decided to opt for a religion, it's doubly useful. You can actually use it for a really good purpose here. We're going to make our dedication real quick. And we're going to, after everyone picks their dedications, we'll be able to see what era everyone got. How far is Russia from Cossacks? Hey, Hotspot TV, how's it going? As you can see, for whatever reason, I can't see their pins. However, I can tell you based on his science, he's sitting at 57.7 science a turn. So that will put him roughly around printing. Yeah. If he's beelining it, he'll be around printing or siege tactics. Now, he hasn't been projecting either. He's just been building tall, getting workers out, and he's making horses. So that tells me he's at the very least at printing. He's probably on siege tactics. Well, that's true, Lizardy. I misspoke there. They're not all accurate, but if you really want to look at history, history is written by the winners. How many untold stories or false truths are we told by various countries out there because they won the war they participated in? And that was something that was a huge eye-opener for me, and not in this game, but in real life. Because when I was active duty in the military, I'd get stationed in various countries, and here we go, mass upgrades from chariots to knights here. And, you know, I'd meet with these cultures, and for example, I was stationed in Korea, and I had an older gentleman ask me about my thoughts on the Korean War one time. And, you know, I said what I thought, and he kind of chuckled, and he said, yeah, most of you younger soldiers say that, but, you know, my father was there, and this is what we went through as a people. And it was really eye-opening, and because it happened to me at such a young age, I signed up relatively young. Yeah, Ombre, I was in the U.S. Army, and I got to see so much of the world, and I absolutely loved it. I learned so much about. Take a look around the map now that I am stepping off of my soapbox about my life. Oh, goodness. Take a look at the eras here. Japan, Russia, Gorgo, Greece, and Mongolia have hit a golden age, whereas everyone else is in the normal age, but Propagandi's America has hit a dark age, and as you can see, his cities are being pressured for loyalty. Cincinnati in 18, Baltimore in 27, and San Francisco in 15 turns. That extra loyalty pressure generated from the era might cut out after seeing so much of the world. I am sorry to hear my mic cut out, but to re-summarize, basically, my time spent in these countries was I opened my eyes to a lot of the other cultures out there that you just don't get to see or experience. The untold stories of people that lived through some of these events. You get to experience their ways of life, their culture, their history, and it's wonderful. And it was an amazing learning experience for me, and I don't regret 1 minute of it. And hey, I'll need my thank you so much for that YouTube channel subscription. Oh, America has a navy of his own. One thing to note for all of you out there who don't know. Continent bonus doesn't affect the water, so he does not get a +5. Whoa, that archer's seen better days. Alright, we have more swords moving around. Kodnaw's getting a little bit bold here. And Kodnaw reforms his eastern front here against Ogathy. It's pretty bold to be putting these swords in the face of a double and triple promoted crossbow with a great general. I mean, you're just asking for these things to die. However, knights and crossbows are on the move from No Sleep. Looks like he is going to try and hit Mysterious X before the Cossack timing. But he's really going to have to put his pedal to the floor on this. You can guarantee he is beelining that technology. Leventa is controlled by No Sleep. I was curious about that too, as to why his knights weren't being attacked by warriors. Jebel Burkle finished by Mysterious X. Now, I was referencing this earlier before I got off on my tangent. I'll pull it up for you guys. It acts like the Colosseum, except for faith. It provides +4 faith to every city within 6 tiles. So it's literally the Colosseum except faith. And instead of giving some culture, it gives you 2 iron as well. And that, again, that's usually why people build it, is for the iron. But for him, he's going to get multiple cities here. Multiple cities here are going to be giving some extra faith. And he's going to be able to use that not only for his religion, but also for, if he chooses to get the building for it in his government district, he'll be buying units with faith. He's generating 112 a turn. But he's going to have to make it there first, and these knights doing a bit of a surgical hit into Agathi's lands. If he could swing through and get some of these weaker cities, just really grab into the meat and just raise them, he could do so much damage. However, there is the big threat of the Cossacks. Now, you can fight off Cossacks. They're not invincible. But they're still very detrimental in the hands of an experienced player. They've definitely been made a lot less immortal by the introduction of the pike and shot unit. And it looks like Propagandi is going to be pushing all of this back, but he has cities that are going to go into rebellion. I think we'll get new city-states and new expansions. Absolutely. We had some new city-states added in Rise and Fall. We had some old ones changed to accommodate for new mechanics. So it's definitely something Firaxis looks at. I wanted to see it in Rise and Fall. It didn't happen. But I wanted to see either commercial districts change to affect harbors as well as commercial districts, or for us to get naval-based city-states that affect strictly harbors. I'm not sure why we don't have them. It makes going to make harbors, or if you have to make harbors because of the land you have instead of commercial districts, it's like shooting yourself in the foot and trying to go run a mile. Multiple harbors come up for Guy's Gorgo here. Would definitely like to see these naval units retreat, upgrade, and come back. Instead chooses to shoot the city with the quads. Hold up. PC issues. Oh, that sucks. They're pausing. He's restarting. He'll hot join. Okay. So, while we're waiting for Propaganda to do that, his units move through the pause. What the fuck? Looks like we're going to have to re-lobby this turn because of that. So, while we're waiting for that to go through, what do you guys think so far about Rise and Fall? What have you liked? What have you hated? What do you wish they would have implemented? What have you liked that they did? Who are your favorite Civs now? Have things really shaken up for you guys? Come on, load on in. Mycenae gets settled here. Again, a city Simon should have had. Sorry to bash you, Simon, but you should have had this area settled, not Choir. He's back, they've unpaused, we're going. What the fuck did they do? A missed tall play while the loyalty flips marginally improved that. I would have hoped for the possibility to do multiple districts based on pop size, or maybe multiple copies of a building within a district under the same pop criteria. That'd be nice to see cities focus more heavily on science. So they didn't count down, they just unpaused and people on both teams moved, so... Everyone getting upset. Like, they both did stuff, I don't... Oh my gosh, these guys. This is an unranked, chill scrim game, and they're getting upset. Okay, we're re-lobbying. They're all so upset. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if you could build multiple stuff like libraries and whatnot in a city. It'd be pretty cool, I think. Ay, ay, ay. Get players connected on in real quick and we get right back into this. I don't understand why they were so upset. Oh, one guy killed a unit, and then someone on the other team took a city. It was pretty fair trading a unit for a city. I wouldn't have complained. There, they want the timer up. They'll up the timer for them.
You got lobby up, man?
Yeah, man, it's up. I put in chat.
We are getting errors to joining you.
Oh, jeez.
Did you clean the folders?
Yep. I'll do it again. I mean, why not?
Hey,
For
Sarnith.
Axis, please. What's up?
So there were 2 moves made before the first pause. So I think both teams have agreed not to make any moves once we're all loaded in. And then I'm going to let him hit my swordsman. And then we're going to pause and do a countdown after he hits the swordsman.
Okay.
I know, kind of confusing.
I got an arrow when I tried to join your lobby, Sarnith. Do you know?
I've closed Sev down, and I'm restarting it.
Okay.
I deleted the folders the first time, so I don't know, like 60 seconds. Count to 100 backwards. I don't know.
Okay.
97, 96, 95.
And now for really loud Firaxis music, because why not? I'm still confused as to why his units moved during the pause. Like, that blew my fucking mind.
Okay.
Alright, and up. How is Russia named as religion? It's hee-haw horsey sauce. Denouncing Venice. Space turtles? Yeah. I don't know, it depends. Sometimes I let my kids name the religion. Usually my daughter picks the butterfly. Just waiting for everybody to ready up in the background here. We'll be good to go. Then it will take a minute to load in because, again, spectator mod has to do its thing. And they're going to have a unit hit a swordsman that happened before the pause needed to happen. And then we're pausing, making sure everyone's in. And then we're doing a countdown and unpausing. Jeez. What do your kids think of Civ 6? They find it interesting from time to time, but it's not fast-paced enough to capture their attention. My son's into more faster RTSs like StarCraft. .4x games just aren't really their thing. Come on, Propaganda. Waiting on you. StarCraft way too fast paced and stressing to me. I prefer Age of Empires 2. I used to play Age of Empires back in the day. I wasn't really good at it, to be honest. I played it when I was younger. Whichever.
How about tomorrow? Can you do StarCraft? The continuation?
Yeah, we can do more of the StarCraft run through tomorrow.
Yay!
All right. Yeah, I'm doing a StarCraft 2 brutal campaign playthrough with my son. That'll be tomorrow. But to get back on topic, it's just how it turns out, you know. Everything, it's its own beast, and that's really what it comes down to. They're different styles of game around the same concept of genre. Because Age of Empires is a real-time strategy as well, but it's a lot slower. I think I consider it an in-between for 4X games and RTSs. That's where I put Age of Empires. Because it's slow enough to be like a 4X game, but it's an RTS. I thought about picking up the Age of Empires 2 Gold Edition on Steam, or maybe 3. Because I saw there is a community that does semi-pro and professional tournaments for Age of Empires. I love watching their stuff. Oh yeah, totally. Another game I haven't played in a while, Masters of Orion. I picked up the latest one for that series a while back. And it's like, same thing with Civ, but it's hard for me to find the time to really stream playing that one. I've gotten into Warframe a lot. It's been a long time since I've been able to touch a shooter. And I think I'm able to because it's robots, not people. And here we go. Loading in, they're doing their thing. City State's doing its thing. I'm going to pause here. Alright, told the players to plus when they're in. We got the game paused. A couple of us paused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, and we're back in. We got the sword hit done, did a formal countdown for our players to do their thing. And now they are getting into it. Simon has another settler out. He is running it back to get a 4th city down. And this attack has kind of been blunted. And because of that remap, he did not take San Francisco this turn. He'll get it next turn, not the end of the world. But they all agreed to the re-lobby, so can't really complain. Remember, America's in a dark age, so his cities are slowly flipping into rebellion. 13 turns San Francisco, 25 for Baltimore, and 16 for Cincinnati. Taking a look at Japan here, choosing to be the aggressor with his knights, going after Agathy, trying to reach deep in, but Agathy has a knight of his own on the table, but he doesn't have enough units here to fight both Kodna and No Sleep. Mysterious X is working toward Cossacks. He only has horses out right now, and he's only making more horses because he's getting ready. That being said, we do have an artist out here being used to give some more free culture on the table. And taking a look at things. Let's look at the demographics while players are taking their turns. No Sleep clocks in at 93.5 science a turn. Simon at 23.8. Guys Gorgo at 42.2. And Codena's Brazil at 36. Taking a look at Team 1. Von Holio here at 42.3 for his Dutch Empire. 21.5 for Agathy. 28.1 for Mysterious X's Russia in terms of science. I'm sorry, that's 78 for Axis. Please, for the love of God, extend these white panel backgrounds so I can read this. Propagandi's America at 20.1 science a turn. Checking the culture tab now. Von Holio's Dutch Empire at 22.8. Agathy's Pericles Greece at 80.7. Mysterious X at 91.9. Those Lavras really putting in the work with those great works. Propagandi's America at 17.8. On the flip side of the coin, No Sleep's Japan 32.9. Simon Tager's Mongolia at 9.3. Guys Gorgo at 31.1. And Code Nas Brazil at 22.9. A commanding lead for TDF's team here in terms of culture. Science is not quite going their way, however. That being said, I'm going to take a look at the religious lens here because Mysterious X is going to be using faith for other things this game. 115.7 faith a turn being generated. T90 Official is a really good AoE2 YouTube channel. Was never any good at it. Love watching some of the strats. Absolutely, Lizardy. I wish I could remember the name of the guys that cast the Age of Empire 3 Gold Edition tournament events, but they do a fantastic job. I'm going to look into that after this match, actually. Not too much going on this front. Swords are poking in a little bit, but this crossbow is raining some terror down against Kodna's western front. Propagandi has a crossbow coming up, but he's going to have to really... He's got a SimCity. He's got to recover. He bought himself a lot of space, a lot of time. He got cities up, but he's not done anything with those cities. And if he doesn't build them tall, he's going to have a huge issue. He's just going to fall behind because Guy's Gorgo has a significantly stronger economy than he does. And he'll eventually be able to walk over him because Von Holio is only sitting on 5 cities. That 5th city just got down recently. And he's just not in a position to help him out. And that being said, Guy has a bunch of troops centered around Non-Madol. Not sure what they're going to be doing yet. I'd like to see them move westward, but it looks like Simon's leading the charge here. Look at gold per turn here. I'm going to start at the top. Japan. Nope. Their turn's over. I got to end. We'll take a look next turn. Now, if No Sleep can kill a ton of these horses off with these knights, It'll really hurt Mysterious transitioning into Cossacks. That's exactly what's going on. He's just killing horses. Honestly, Pete's, I think they should go back to the Civ 3 rendition where the samurai replaced the knight, had the movement, just like the knight had, instead of putting it off to the side. It should just replace the knight. And there are the Keshigs. We are going to see them this game. How about that? City is taken and razed. Burns it to the ground. That being the case, it looks like No Sleep's plan here is to kill as many horses as feasibly possible to stop the oncoming Cossacks. He knows they're coming. He knows they gotta be soon if he's seeing all these horses. But there are not only more knights coming, but crossbows to support them, and there's even more chariots back here still waiting to be upgraded. Speaking of which, there they are, getting upgraded. Now, guys remaining galley will get sunk, so we'll have lost all these ships, but they have dealt their damage and done a good job. That city will be falling, and Baltimore is going to flip into rebellion in 16 turns, 20 for Cincinnati, and these numbers are going to change at the turnover because the city that was helping to provide a little bit of loyalty pressure will be gone. And we will be starting the top of turn 66 right here on this three-way front, four-way if you include over there. Oof. No Sleep relentlessly pushing in. Agatha trying to get more knights over to try and help hold the line, but they are hopelessly outgunned here. Switzerland, yeah, it'd be nice to see them. Oh, a second general picked up. Eiffelfoot, awesome. That'll do a lot of work for him. Kesha gets hit and forced to withdraw. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Losing that city did damage. 8 turns for rebellion for Baltimore, and down to 8 in Cincinnati as well. Not having the population to support the loyalty is drastically hurting things. because of what kind of age you're in, a dark age, normal, or golden, it affects how much loyalty your populations produce. And in America's case, in a dark age, your citizens only exert a half a point of loyalty each. In a normal age, it's 1. In a golden age, it's 1.5. And because Mongolia is in a golden and he's in a dark, he is really feeling the pressure. He's generating a third of the loyalty pressure points. So, Guy's job is pretty much done here. He can go back to simming or doing whatever he was originally intending, because with that city gone, these cities are going to go into rebellion, and that's damage done. Simon should be able to clean the rest of this up if he builds some more military units, and he'll be able to use Aethelflaed well into the Renaissance era as well. TDF really looking to be pushed onto the back foot now after this. However, we will wait and see what happens. Mysterious X has had a ton of time this game. He's had 60 turns to just do anything in the world that he wants without any pressure whatsoever. And we will leave the camera panned here, as this is where the hot part of the action is. It goes neutral and acts like a city-state, but it spawns rebels too, pizza.
For it and never come back.
Big hits going out. No Sleep really MVPing for his team right now. He's been powering their science, been generating gold for them as well. And he's done an excellent job. Really swinging in to help Codenau on this front. Taking the fight to Mysterious X and to Ogathi's core cities. And this is going to cause that front line with Codenau to buckle. And with that, they will be able to really put Ogathi down unless we see Cossacks in a few turns. Oh, he does manage to get a governor installed into Cincinnati, so 108 turn rebellion there, but Baltimore isn't looking too hot. Now, Simon needs to get a settler out and start settling this land down here. Behind all this, he needs to keep making troops and get settlers down here. He needs to take this land and start using it. It'll also provide more pressure against Propagandi's cities, and that'll cause them to flip into rebellion faster as well. More crossbowmen coming out though. Von Holio still effectively contained. I'd like to see some more cities go up around here. He does have the room. With all these crossbows lining up, it's going to be incredibly difficult to push in. However, again, Rebellion in 80 turns, he's gotten things sorted out. Policy card set. And he's still under threat of it, but it's reasonable now. He'll be fine. But again, if settlers come down here and start throwing cities down, and they could chop things like the rainforest for food and push its population up, it's going to cause some problems. Do have some more archers moving forward here, but these are crossbows now. It's look at that, almost one-shots it. So Propagandi's going to hold. He's lost one city. Oh man, Ephesus is under siege. Does have walls up at least. No Sleep really hammering nails in here. Really doing damage. Pushing back and killing knights off that Agathes managed to put out. And his crossbows supporting his knights over here. Just doing excellent job. Abu up here, picked up by Mysterious X, is going to be used alongside his Cossacks to heal them. Units adjacent or linked to Abu do heal 20 a turn, and that's going to be a huge deal. Oh, big hit. That ram there, man. These are big hits. One knight does get cleared up. Another upgrades. Promotes, rather. I apologize. They tear down the walls and they're taking shots on the city. And there it goes. Ephesus is taken by our Brazilian player Codna. General gets punted back to Rhodes. And now Sun Tzu will be able to move forward to better support Codna's army. $1,000 gold, 65 a turn for Mysterious X Russia. His team, America, is either breaking even or negative. Agathes Pericles, 10 a turn. Not much banked. and 5 a turn from the Dutch. So Mysterious X is going to have about 1 to 1,300 gold to upgrade with for his Cossacks. So he'll have plenty, depending, and since he went such a heavy faith, he more than likely got the building for old theocracy for purchasing units of faith. So we're probably going to see a bunch of Cossacks get purchased with faith as well. Timur even brought forward by No Sleep as well, giving himself a general. Even bringing a settler up. Be seeing him grabbing one of these settles over here. The long snake daisy chain that is Gorgo's empire. Doing a great job here, making good use of adjacencies there, as you can see, for the harbor and Acropolis. Commercial up there. Even Brazil got a bit of a snake going on here. And these are interesting city placements, because normally you'd want to build them in more of a spiral cluster, so that you can benefit from the cross loyalty, so you never have loyalty issues, just like No Sleep's Japan has done. And it's easier to cluster your districts for adjacencies as well. Let's see how it goes from here. How much further are these knights going to be able to get before Cossacks arrive? No Sleep just focused on killing off as many units as he can. I'd like to see him come through and kill all these horses off, but... because if he could kill all these horses off, it would limit the number of Cossacks so heavily. But he is instead focused on pushing Agathi off a cliff. Which isn't necessarily bad for his team either. It relieves all the pressure off of Kodna except for what Von Holio is doing. But that's honestly Kodna aggressively posturing up against Von Holio. However, Guy is moving units into position here as well along the south. So we could see a bit of a joint effort there now that the eastern front for Kodna has been relieved. If Guy gets a handful of frigates, he does have an admiral to accompany them, he could do considerable damage to Propagandi's standing forces for sure. Because all of this would reach in the 2 tiles into these passes, and it would do so much damage. And he could only need to bring 1 or 2 caravels to cycle out. He could just take all of these cities down. And he knows it, so I'm surprised to see that he hadn't gone for it. These cities are going to need industrial districts, or they're dead cities. I mean, No Sleep's just running through. He's killing all the units off. And it's, again, it's relieving all the pressure off of Kodna. He could just follow up behind this with the swords in his ram and try to take some of these cities out. But again, Cossacks are coming. Mysterious X has the science to have them within a few turns if he doesn't right now. Well, not right now, but next turn now. They're way behind the culture game, Team 2 is, because both Agathi and Mysterious X were generating nearly 100 culture a turn. So they're going to have nationalism soon as well. And once those Cossacks turn into core, and if he can scoop a general, he doesn't have any encampments, so it's not going to happen. But if he could get a general to accompany them, it would just be catastrophic damage. Alright, let's see what happens from here. Knight retreats and promotes. Starting to fortify up. Honestly, I think it'd be better for him just to run through and start burning down cities like Argos, Oca, Tiryns. Or just start burning cities to the ground unless you're going to swing back and start killing these horses off. I mean, I'd be interested in seeing what the game plan is for No Sleep behind this, because there's nothing being built at home. So if Mysterious X can scout and identify this, those Cossacks are going to run straight to home. And that's going to be a huge problem. A musician running around as well. Simply just has no place to put the great work yet. And that is a bit of a downside when playing the culture game, is you can quickly run out of slots. That being said, our Hee-Haw Horsey Sauce religion picked up by Mysterious X, he did pick up Watts as his first evangelize. So he can make those that generate faith and science. And he also got scripture for passive spread. And he's going to get printing anyway because he's going for Cossacks. And that will give a 50% stronger passive spread for him. So it's going to spread his religion for him so he can use that faith to purchase things like Cossacks. Taking a quick look at the map here religious-wise. Festus converts in 13. 15 for Argus, and then it goes ridiculously higher from there. So he's going to have to be a bit more active in his spreads if he wants to rely on the passive spreading. Cities just aren't tightly packed enough to rely on it. Started to maybe a visual bug or something. It's fine, don't worry about it. Okay, well, I'm gonna worry about it. I am looking. Some people haven't fully adjusted to diplomatic visibility granting combat bonuses. Not it, says 48 pace. The total is 53. It's getting a +5. Is it honor near coast? I mean, I see a general over here, that's +5. So... I don't see how that could be a bug. I mean, I see the general. It's been there for a while. It looks like he is going to be handing these cities off to his Brazilian ally. Still no Cossacks, turn 72. No bonuses. I mean, again, I see the general, so... Take a quick overview of the city-states once again. Mysterious X controlling Antioch. Hong Kong controlled by Simon Still. Guy has taken Candy. That is to be expected. They're trying to keep it away from Mysterious from getting any bonuses, and it's to there to plague anyone in any way, shape, or form that they can. If they could pillage traders that were coming through or whatever. A Civ game in a space style. Wasn't Alpha Centauri like that? I mean, it's really old, but I'm pretty sure that was Alpha Centauri. As for games that are actually up to date in modern day graphics sets like that, Masters of Orion's your closest bet. It's literally Civ in space. What the hell? Where? Oh, jeez. He'll delete. Okay. Stellar? Is it Stellar? Sim Beyond Earth? Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go, handled real quick, deleted the general. More crossbow shots going off here, but these knights are just rampaging through. And they are supported by these 3 crossbows, one of them having 4 promotions, the other 2 sitting on 3. That 4th promoted crossbow is getting 2 shots off a turn, and that's just, oh, it's brutal. Rhodes falls as well now to Brazil. Why was the general deleted? That's because the players voted that classical era generals cannot leave your own territorial borders. That was a classical era general, it was Sun Tzu. And he had it outside of his borders. So, he said, hey, I'm sorry, I broke the rule. I'm just going to delete it. And they're like, okay, well, if that's what you want to do. They unpaused, he deleted it, they moved on. It's just what the players have voted on to do for this game. They voted on all the settings from the map, turn timer, whole 9 yards. Carthage picked up by Agatha, as you can see in the background there. And Leventa controlled by No Sleep. So they've shut Mysterious X out of all these religious city-states. He still could put envoys in him to get the bonuses, but... nothing being made at home by No Sleep. He's got a couple builders running around. He even has caravels. And this is blocked off at the bottom. That's rare to see on maps. It's usually not. Oh, it's blocked off on both sides. What the heck? That's definitely not supposed to be the case. Weird. It's supposed to have a 1-tile pass at least. But, either way, any Navy Japan makes will be contained. However, they could still do damage to cities like Smolensk. I'd love to see caravels sweep in here, raise Smolensk, just burn it to the ground, just to deny the city. Because any damage you deal taking city ways is huge. Especially when you burn it to the ground, because they can never take it back. They'd have to build it from scratch. As you can see, 5 turns until Rebellion, so he's probably going to buy a monument, or just repair it if there was one there already, and move on from there. They are shaving cities off of Agathy at a pretty good clip. But again, Cossacks are coming, and I don't see anyone else gearing up for cavalry or for pike and shots. Now, if he had a bunch of spearmen sitting at home with like 1 turn off a pikeman and he's working toward pike and shot, then yeah, absolutely. Because then he can just 1 turn the pikeman tech and upgrade all these spears to pike and shots, and then he's just going to laugh at all these Cossacks. But he doesn't have that stuff there. Not enough yet. Only 1 tourist. Oh, muskets getting upgraded by our Brazilian player Codno. What is Von Holio doing about all this? Whole lot of nothing. He's just sitting back and trying to hold off as long as he can. Take a look at America here. They're trying to take shots back and forth here, but 12 turns and 15 turns. Cincinnati and Baltimore are going to flip. Gotta be careful. Russia declared friendship with Greece, so they're getting ready to re-up their alliance. Yeah, there were cachings earlier, Ombre. You missed it, man. Simon had a caching. I think it died during the fight. We were watching the Eastern War. He did get one out, and it did quite a bit of work. It pushed the troops back all the way to Cincinnati, and now that all these crossbows have shown up, he's pushing back once again, but unless he takes a city, 12 turns, 15 turns, those cities are going to flip into rebellion unless something drastic changes. So hopefully Simon can produce some more military, or Guy can send some more reinforcements. And speaking of which, all of the horsemen that were here have just turned into core. So Mysterious X has just hit nationalism. He's hit it a long way before everybody else. And because of this, he's going to go straight to Cossack core. Looks like this is going to be building a what? Campus going down in Nizhny Novgorod. Has a governor got put there as well. So we're going to see some Cossack corps soon, and that's going to turn the tables quite a bit. These knights are starting to dwindle from no sleep, and again, there are no spears or pikes being pre-built yet. Nothing geared that's displaying pike and shot, which is, and to me, it's super risky. I mean, unless No Sleep honestly thinks he's going to hit tanks first. At 118 science a turn compared to Mysterious's 100, it's not a big enough leap to make it all the way to tanks. That's assuming you get lucky with oil. There's the Cossack. And these are Cossack core. Hopefully, Team 2 has an answer. Now these are turn 75 Cossacks, so it's it's a little slow, little on time, depending on how you want to look at it. But these are also Cossack Corps. So he's hit nationalism first. He's got the lead there, and he's first to put cavalry units on the field. That's going to be a pretty huge deal here. Hopefully, we'll see a flood of spearmen come out of Japan cities here to turn into pike and shots. Because with the pike and shots, they'll hold. Here comes the faith purchasing of these Cossacks as well behind all this. Now, Agathi's going to lose his capital next turn, but you can't raise a capital, so they're just going to take it back. In the west, we have swords and archers getting picked off here. These crossbows and swords are just going to keep pushing. Nothing's really getting in their way. 3 generals picked up by Simon here. It's great job on getting the generals. Unfortunately, you haven't made anything to use them with. Meanwhile, Von Holio is getting pressured by muskets as well. Medieval era ends in 9 turns. Let's see what chooses to happen with these Cossacks. There's the strength of the Cossacks. Hit and run. And he's just faith purchasing more and more Cossacks behind this. And they're going to link up and turn into corps as well. Again, hoping to see pike and shots coming out of cities, or at least there's some pikemen. Alright, so he's making pikemen to turn into pike and shots, so he's at least working toward that. Muskets are pushing in and starting to encircle Eindhoven. We have muskets and crossbows lining up against Von Holio's southern front from Guy as well. But even then, I mean, the damage is done in terms of to Agathy. He's been hurt pretty hard. But Mysterious X has hit Cossacks. They've done their job to buy him time. Now it's up to Mysterious X to really utilize the time he's been given. It's his time to shine. But he's got to pull it off. It is possible to defend against this, assuming they can get units ready behind it. Alright, let's see where it goes from here. Loaded coming into turn 77, 8 turns left in the medieval era. Let's see what they got. Cossacks are just running through, killing units left, right, and center. And honestly, it's because of the nationalism, them becoming core, that's making them do this so much. Cossacks are strong in their own right. All cavalry class units are, don't get me wrong. But in this case, Mysterious X was also able to hit nationalism first. And because of that, the bonus damage, bonus combat strength, and the becoming core has made this incredibly difficult to deal with. However, we do have more pikemen being produced by No Sleep, so we'll have to wait and see if we can generate enough to turn them into pike and shots to really turn them into something useful. That being said, Propagandhi started to push back against his Mongolian oppressor. However, his cities are going to flip into rebellion in 8 turns, which is how long until the next era. So we'll have to wait and see if it gives it to him or if the era cycle can save him. Cossacks also have more base combat strength cavalry. Yes, they do. They also get a bonus when they're on or near the motherland. Which, the early hits we saw, that was the case. Oh. Go Dutch. Russia's gonna wipe the floor. No one on the enemy team has built any pike and shots. Yep, you know, I agree with that. I mean, we see pikes starting to come out, but it's too late. These should have been pre-built way ahead of time. It was so telegraphed that he was near Cossacks. However, I don't think he has enough of them yet to clear the entire map. I think he has enough to force a CC. But he doesn't have enough to clear the map yet. And once these remaining stragglers become Koras as well, it's especially when he hits helicopters, oh my god. And Casey's guy is just pressuring Von Holio pretty hard here from the south. And Kodna is hammering him from the east as well. Definitely not a great situation to be in. However, again, they bought Mysterious X the time he needed to get to this point. He's hit a huge power spike. And he's probably just going to liberate all these cities. back to his ally Agathy. Oh, nope, never mind, he's keeping it. So, no, this is my city now, Agathy, you don't need it. Oh, okay, so what ended up happening, right, Ombre, was Simon got crossbow tech first. And alongside the crossbow tech, Guy sent a couple of ships and a handful of units, a few swords and an archer, along with this ram that you see over. And they raised this bottom city. And with the crossbow and then the couple units that trickled through from Guy through this pass, they pushed America back to Cincinnati, Baltimore, and I don't remember the name of this city down here. They raised the city, Guy got pushed back, and then Prop hit a huge timing with a whole bunch of crossbows, and even made the knight just to increase his city strength a little more. And he is again pushing back, so it's like an ebb and flow right now. However, Simon's not making military units, so this is going to end up killing him, I think. But if he can hold on long enough for Guy to clear out Von Holio here, they'll be in good shape. Well, although he's moving the Cossacks forward, just saying, you know, hey, Agathy, clean this mess up. An 80 combat strength city, dear lord. He's gonna need a lot of pike shots. He has a 2 Cossack Corps, 2 normal Cossack, another Cossack Corps on the way. And he's gonna have these just run through Brazil as fast as they can. Well, I mean, like I said, he doesn't have enough to clear the map. He probably has enough to force a CC. Because by the time these Cossacks get over to Guy could probably mount the defense. But it's going to be too little too late at that point. That's why I said it's going to force the CC. Especially because by the time those Cossacks get there, they're going to have like 3 or 4 promotions. So it's going to be pretty nasty. Yeah, unfortunately, until Firaxis implements a hard-coded observer function, this mod reveals the map to me, but because I, as technically a player, can see the map, barbarian camps can't spawn. Whereas if Firaxis hard-coded in observer mode, that would be able to exclude me from the player count, they'd be able to spawn. But again, until that happens, it's unfortunately how it is, which kind of sucks, because there are people out there who love playing with barbs, and still would like to have stuff like this happen for their game so they could get casted. I mean, in fact, in the ADCP duel event going on in the CPL, one of their tournaments, because they're doing multiple events right throughout the year. One of theirs has barbs on, and those can't really be cast because it would force the barbs off, which is unfortunate because even though they're duels, they'd still be really exciting to watch. Oh boy, spearmen! Get them with your pointy sticks. However, there's lots of spearmen coming out. Come on, gotta see the pike shot. God, Cossacks are horrible against walls. That being said, it's, well, not looking good. I mean, there are several pikemen taken to the field, more being made, but I just don't see it. Don't see it happening. Already bearing down on Buenos Aires now with more reinforcements coming. Pikemen are getting upgraded to pike and shot, so he has the technology up, but he doesn't have him in position. Taking a look at Von Holio here. Eindhoven is not looking too great right now. Not under siege yet, technically, but that being said, the western city of Groningen is getting pressured, but not too hard. There are only 3 muskets supported by 3 crossbowmen here. So Von Holio fighting on equal terms, so to speak. In the west, though, Propagandi is really pushing in here with these swords backed by these crossbowmen. He has 1 knight accompanying. And Guy really forced to try and just choke things off to prevent the siege. That being said, 7 turns and 5 for the era, so he will hold on. Have an idea, you get the multiplayer game but no extra player to expectated. What do? You make all the players stream the game from their point of view. Extra stream switches between streams. That also forces those players to stream the game, and if they don't personally want to, or it bogs down their system too much, it becomes undesirable. It's a good idea in concept, but unless you can get all the players in the game to stream on systems that are going to range from really good computers to maybe really bad ones in some cases. And it takes up all their resources just to play the game. Because Civ is a very demanding game on your resources for your computer. And that's because it's a peer-to-peer system. There's no external server shouldering the burden for transferring data. Your computer's processor has to muscle through all of it. Mysterious X, the target of an emergency. He has Cossacks. He is an emergency. Alright, these pike and shots will have 65 combat strength against these Cossacks. And that's attacking, not defending. They're fortified, they'll have even more. But I don't see him attacking him. I just see him walking around them. And these Cossacks are just cutting a swath through the land right now. Having no pizza is an emergency. Hell yeah, man. Not having pizza sucks. But payday for me is on the 30th, so 12 days pizza. Can they hold on? Will these spears eventually upgrade to pike and shots? Will he forget the pikeman tech and go, damn it, man? We'll have to wait and see. So 12 turns till pizza. In some games it feels like it takes 12 days to get 12 turns. CC request. Here, Cossacks for the win. Yep. No Sleep did an awesome job, though, early in mid-game. Just unfortunately wasn't able to kill off those horses and push deep enough, fast enough. But he did an awesome job. Propaganda, awesome job, man. Your ebb and flow back and forth has been awesome. You did a great job holding. You made amazing space for yourself. Took great advantage of the space you made. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the... I really hope you enjoyed the game. It was great. A lot of players were going back and forth. We got to see a lot of great strategy and teamwork out of all of the players, really, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. So thanks for coming on out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks as always for all the support, and I look forward to